Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 236 was by far one of the worst manga chapters I've ever experienced, I've ever read. And I really don't understand why this series is still going. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen is so dead and irrelevant. I had to do a double take when I saw the fanboys and people actually talking about this chapter. I was like, huh? Jujutsu Kaisen is still going? I thought that trash ended a while ago. I thought it was one of those Attack on Titan situations where the manga is over, but they basically keep milking the anime, because I know season 2 of the anime came out and it has absolutely no hype. Like, no one's talking about it, no one cares about it. But no, this trash manga is still going. This terrible Bleach ripoff is still going, and people are acting like this chapter was actually good. I saw it trending and everyone talking about it. I don't know why YouTube would recommend me one of these losers that does live reactions to manga chapters. You'd have to be an absolute idiot to make content like that. It's talentless content. It's content for losers. But that's how I knew about it. I was like, what's going on with Jujutsu Kaisen? Why am I getting recommended? So I started doing my research, and I saw that I guess some big fight happened. I guess some character died. So I decided to read it, like, what is going on here? And I witnessed one of the most boring fights, one of the biggest just ass pull infested chapters I've ever experienced. Just ass pull after ass pull. Two boring characters only losers with bad taste would actually care about. I just couldn't believe this trash was actually trending. It was hard to even see what was going on half the time because the art was literally so bad. It looked like something done by an infant or something, or somebody that just has no talent at all, somebody that just scribbles down stuff. Like, how can someone with art like this, art this bad, become a professional mangaka? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But then I start to think of, well, Oda became a mangaka, right? And he has some of the worst art out there. I mean, all of his characters look like they're suffering from some sort of disability when you really look at them in detail. So I guess as long as you can get a bunch of idiots to read your manga, the art can be as bad as ever, the writing can be as bad as ever, characters as bad as ever. It just doesn't matter as long as you have that group of idiots that will read or watch your series. And Jujutsu Kaisen definitely has that group of idiots that will read and watch it. It's just sad. But this is honestly what I hate about shonen tars. You know, nobody was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen at all. Like I said, not even season 2 garnered any hype. The anime is just completely dead. And the author knew that. So what does he do? Pull some corny fight out of his ass between two popular characters and hope that's enough to save his dying manga. It's just ridiculous. And it's funny considering that after this, the series will go right back to being completely dead and irrelevant. These shonen mangaka have to keep pumping out fight after fight, power up after power up, just to keep these losers entertained because their small brains only acknowledge action, fights, power-ups, etc. It's ridiculous, and what kills me is shonen battle manga don't even have good fights. And isn't that the point of shonen battle manga, the battles? And they always suck. This was just fairy tale levels of ass pulls in this chapter. Power-ups and abilities coming out of nowhere. Tons of retcons. I mean, you'd have to be a moron to actually enjoy this chapter and to enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen as a whole. I mean, what? People are sad. You know what's funny too, right? The only reason people are even talking about this chapter is because apparently Gojo died, which I guarantee it's going to be another ass pull where you think Gojo is dead and he returns or something. These mangaka don't have the heart to actually kill fan favorite characters. Every time you ask somebody about Jujutsu Kaisen, all they say is Gojo. Hey, so what do you like about Jujutsu Kaisen? Gojo. Who's your favorite character? Gojo. He's like the mascot of the series, and all he is some boring Kakashi ripoff from Naruto, and Kakashi was a terrible character. So it's like you're ripping off a terrible character, making an even worse character, and it's like, why is he popular? And now because he's dead, or supposedly dead, when you know he's going to get resurrected, because nobody actually dies in these shonen manga because the authors are cowards and they know, damn, if I kill this character that everyone likes, that might be half of my fan base that disappears, or most of it, and I'll never recover. These mangaka are cowards. So he's not going to stay dead. If he does, then it's probably just because he's about to end the series or whatever, so he's like, whatever, I'll kill everybody for right now. now. But he's a coward. The author of this manga is definitely a coward. But Gojo is a terrible character. And it's like he has all these fangirls and all these fanboys that act like he's literally put in the story to just be powerful. Like there's nothing interesting about him. He doesn't have any depth. It's like, it's so sad that people have fallen so far into lower level thought that all it takes for a character to be popular is for them to just be powerful. Oh, Gojo's winning all of his fights. Gojo is so strong. He's beating everybody. He's my favorite character. Screw actual well-written characters. Screw depth. Screw any personality or whatever. Oh, he's strong. He's overpowered. Favorite character. That's how stupid these people are in shonen. That's why shonen fans are the laughing stock of anime and manga. No one takes them seriously. No one of higher level thought, such as myself, with great taste, such as myself, would ever take a shonen tar seriously, because this is the type of stuff that they get hyped over. Boring fights, ass pulls, and dumb power-ups, and characters that are just overpowered because the story allows them to be. This is just a terrible, terrible chapter. All of these losers with their mouths wide open in the thumbnail, doing streams, all these losers that sit on Twitter all day, talking to their like 10 followers or whatever. They're only popular on Twitter. They aren't popular on any other website. They're just losers that sit around talking about bad stuff all day. They can sit here all they want and act like this was crazy and they're going ham over this chapter. This is just so insane what's happening. But they're, at the end of the day, you're a loser. At the end of the day, you're hyping up some trash that was made by a hack, that was made by somebody that could never become a mangaka back in the day where it was actual talent. He got lucky because he just saw Bleach and ripped it off, and people were, I guess, wanting another Bleach because Bleach got canceled, so they were like, okay, we'll just put our faith in Jujutsu Kaisen. But there's nothing good about it. There will never be anything good about Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like the main character isn't even the main character. The mangaka was like, Gojo's more popular, so let's just make everything about Gojo. Like, isn't Itadori supposed to be the main character? It's like, since when? Everybody just talks about Gojo. Sad. So if Gojo is actually dead, thank you. He is one of the worst characters of all. That is the highlight if this is actually going to stick, which is not. But if it's actually going to stick, that's the highlight of this terrible chapter. We finally don't have to deal with such a terrible character being alive anymore. Gojo is a terrible character. He's always been a terrible character. People only like him because he's powerful. He doesn't have any depth. There's nothing interesting about him. And there's nothing interesting about any character in Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just, again, a Bleach ripoff, a Chainsaw Man ripoff. It's ripping off so many different series. And it's so funny. You're starting to see just ripoff after ripoff become popular, when back in the day that would have been just excommunicated. Like, they would have got these people up out of here so quick you wouldn't even have been able to see it. Like, it would just happen so fast. But now we are literally allowing rip-offs to become popular. Demon Slayer, rip-off of every other series out there, becomes popular. Jujutsu Kaisen, blatant rip-off of Bleach, becomes popular. Like, all these new shonen and stuff are literally just ripping off everything. And these losers, because they're such shonen tards, they're like, hey, well, it doesn't matter to me. It's just not ripping off, just inspirating. That's all it is. Just shut up. If you're a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, man, you're an idiot.